Welcome to Under the Alder Tree. I'm your host, Shellie Carter, and I'm really excited for this new year. And part of how today is going to go, a lot of my clients and a lot of the guests who have been listening in have said, you know what, Shellie, you share about, and you have other guests on the show, but we really don't know a whole lot about you. So guess what? Tonight's your night. You're going to get to hear a little bit more details about Shellie Carter, my life, some of the things I've dealt with, and what has brought me to this point. And then let's see. And then we're going to talk about, well, actually, why don't we just get started? So, as you know, I'm Shellie Carter. So, welcome to my center. And I'm really excited about this new year. Not only is it a new year, it's a new decade. And so, it's brought many people thinking about, wow, what have I accomplished this past few years or past several years? And what do I want to see different for myself moving into the future? And so as I've been thinking about what that would look like for clients that come in, for people that listen in on the show, one of the things I do every year is, and throughout the year, is I will pull cards. So I call them my inspirational cards. So we have the Angel Answers by Doreen Virtue, one of my favorite decks. I have many decks that I work with, so this is what it actually looks like. And so the card, I thought that was really interesting that actually came up, was the opportunity card. Because in my spirit, I've been preparing myself the last 6 months for clearing out a lot of things that have caused a lot of fear in my life, areas where I didn't feel like I could move forward. I wanted to really clear those things out. So when I come into January 2020, I can actually step into 2020 powerfully versus dragging my past into my future. And so I'm going to do a little reading from these cards. I also pull cards from Carolyn Mrs. Archetype cards. I don't know, any of you guys have this card? No? Oh, well. So there's two cards that showed up. So the card from Angel Answers is the opportunity card. Really like you guys to take a look at this. I don't know if I'm getting this right. So you can see all the gold coming from the heavens and an angel holding her hands up. Opportunity. I just really feel like this year is a lot about opportunity. Things from last year are not going to be the same this year. And so the things that would normally hold you back or have you stuck in a place of fear just isn't going to be. So I'm going to actually read from the book, and it says, positive growth and expansion is on the horizon for you. How exciting is that? So just think of all the plans you put in place and all the things you've been working on last year actually come to fruition this year. So one way to look at that is that you've been expecting and you're going to be birthing a lot of new things this year. This opportunity may bring with it inspiration and insight, or it could be the chance you've been waiting for to take action ideas that you already have. Like how many of you out there have this book and that you've been thinking about writing, and maybe you've written a few words, maybe it's just a thought, maybe you've been dreaming about it. Maybe somebody told you, I think you should write a book about that. Well, guess what? This is your year to actually not just think about it, but take it from your thoughts and put it into pen and paper. There's something about writing it versus doing it on a computer, not that you can't, that magically appears other things, I'll say emotions and other feelings that get evoked as you put the pen to the paper versus type it in a computer. I always recommend when journaling to write, and then you can put it in your computer if you want to do that. Let's see. You may be seeking to manifest the chance to create changes in your career. So those of you who have been in school, or maybe you woke up one day and said, I'm not passionate about this anymore. I think that it's time to make a change. Maybe you're looking into selling a home or buying a home or bringing a new romance into your life. Whatever your desires, your angels are about to open a door of possibility for you. Step right in. And it could be possibilities in many areas of your life. So keep your eyes open and think about all those things you've been dreaming about that you just haven't acted on yet. And so now we're going to go to the archetype cards. And at the end of today, we're going to go through a meditation that actually brings all the cards together that we're talking about with some affirmation. So follow through the entire program. So anyway, the archetype cards, Carolyn Miss. And the first card that showed up is the Liberator. And I think it's such a cool card because, what do you think of when you see the word liberator, when you hear the word liberator? Just take a minute to think about it. I know for myself, when I think of liberator, I think of being set free. It could be set free from things that have you bound, set free from fears, set free from addictions, maybe, or, it could be food, it could be emotional addictions. It doesn't matter. So, liberator for me is being set free from something. And then the second card that came, and with these cards, it has a light attribute and a shadow attribute. So I look at light, shadow, light, positive things that it brings, and shadow would be what you would think of as challenges. The next card is child, magical. And so we're going to take time to read through this. So, child magical, the light attributes is seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. And I think what's cool about being a child is you don't know the answer no. You may hear no a lot, but you don't know it. So you think everything's possible and you think you're invincible until you get out of high school and life happens and you get older and you find out that things aren't quite going the way you thought they would go. And then the shadow attribute is pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and actions are not required for growth. I think sometimes people think, well, if I just think it is going to appear, not realizing they actually have to put some energy and action into creating what it is that they want. So, Liberator is about facing yourself and others from outmodeled, or freeing yourself and others from outmodeled beliefs. I'm going to read that one again because I think that's actually quite cool. So, freeing yourself and others from outmodeled beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. It says freeing yourself. It doesn't say somebody come rescue me, somebody come save me. It's like you taking ownership within your own power to do the work, to have yourself be elevated mentally, physically, and spiritually. And there are times, even myself, we want to blame something or a situation, why we are where we are or what happened got us to where we're at. But it really is about us taking responsibility and stepping into our own power and being who we are and who we've been created to be. The shadow side is imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. So I'm going to actually read from the book because it gives more information here. Liberator helps to liberate us from the self inflicted tyranny of negative thought patterns and beliefs, spiritual sluggishness, poor nutrition, destructive relationships, or addictive behaviors. Ring a bell for any of you out there? I know there's a few in there for me. Invaluable ally in freeing us from old entrenched beliefs and attitudes. You don't have to be a charismatic leader to have this archetype. So in her card deck, it has different archetypes that would say this is how a particular person might be. But you can be any of them. Certain aspects of you can be. The shadow liberator manifests in corporate, political, religious, and spiritual leaders who impose their own tyranny over others. So there might be something you want to ask yourself. Ask whether you have a lifelong pattern of helping to free others from injustices, adverse economic or social conditions, or simply from their misconceptions. And see where those questions take you. Let me know what you have to say about that. I think it's, just food for thought and something to really think about. Child magical. Whew. I know a lot of the clients I see, and when we look at our inner child, it's how much we ignore that little child or forget that that little piece of us is there. And we get so caught up in the day to day work, the day to day activities, our day to day lives. Many of us ladies have play multiple roles and have multiple tasks. So at the end of the day, there's not a whole lot left for us. So we forget who we are or who we really are or the magic of being childlike. So, child magical is about the innocence. The magic child sees potential for sacred beauty in all things, embodies wisdom and courage in the face of difficult circumstances, is gifted with imagination and the belief that everything is possible. When have you started thinking that nothing was possible? Is there light at the end of the tunnel? When is this? Can I get off this road now? Yeah. Shadow magical manifests as lack of faith in miracles and transformation, attitudes of pessimism and depression, and as the belief that energy and action are not required, allowing one to retreat into fantasy, or what I would say is retreat in bed with your blankie and your pillow over your head, or whatever that is for you to escape into another world or part of life. So, how many times have you not wanted to do something or said, I'll do it later, or a situation comes up and you're like, I just don't have the energy to do this anymore? And so maybe tap into that inner child and say, okay, what would you like to do today? Maybe take a play day. Maybe take a time out and do something fun and creative, or take time out to just listen to your heartbeat or listen to your breath as you breathe it in. Taking a moment out to head out to nature. Even though it's getting cold, nature in the winter has its own beauty, which is amazing. And so, and all of this actually also leads me to sharing a little bit about myself. And I was thinking about, okay, there's so many places I can go with this conversation. Um, I think the first thing I'm going to talk about is digestive health. And a lot of people ask me, well, because part of what I offer is colon hydrotherapy here at the center. And a lot of my clients were asking me, well, how did you get started in this? What in the world would want to make you do something like colonics? And for those of you who don't know, even as a little girl, I remember even 5, going to the bathroom, pooping was so difficult. I maybe went once a week and it was so painful. I would just sit in the bathroom and cry. And I remember my mom taking me to the doctor and when I was sick, the first question Dr. Singh would ask was, well, did Shellie have a bowel movement today? And usually, of course, the answer is no. And it wasn't until my mid 30s, my health had declined so badly. I had had one surgery I couldn't heal from. It was on my ankle. I'd had 8 surgeries on my left foot, probably 14 surgeries total at that point. And literally, I was dying. My skin was starting to turn yellow, and which is from too many toxins in the body. And so I started seeing a holistic doctor, and a couple of them actually, and we it felt like it would be one step forward and 5 steps back, one step forward and 5 steps back. And thinking back on all that time, um, the thing that surprised me is none of them asked me about my bowel movements. And although I would go to health food store after health food store after health food store to figure out what's going on inside myself and to see about how do I get things moving. And I finally found this one health food store. They're like, you may want to call this lady. She does colon hydrotherapy. And I'm like, well, what the heck is that? And they said, well, why don't you call her? She'll explain it to you. And so I called her. And at this point, you guys, I would have done about just about anything because I was in misery and my body was shutting down. And so I called her the next day, went in to see her, and it was like the worst experience ever. It took 4 sessions for us to actually get things moving. That's how backed up things were. And it wasn't until my sixth session I actually started feeling like I wanted to be back in the game of life. My body started healing, even though I changed my diet to healthy. I quit drinking full pots of coffee a day and the donuts and all of that. I'd quit all that, quit the, let's see, dairy and gluten free. And still, I was not able to get my gut healthy. It wasn't until I started getting colonics that I started having relief and things started moving and I started feeling better and I started learning like what is healthy. Like not going a week I figured wasn't healthy, but nobody ever talks about what healthy is and what things should really look like. And so what I learned in my journey is when you eat a meal within a half an hour to an hour, you should be eliminating or pooping. So if you're eating 3 meals a day and snacking, you should be having 3 to 4 movements in a day. If you're eating 2 meals a day and snacking, it should be 2 to 3. And what I've learned along my journey, and as I've met other people and worked with many doctors, is more holistic doctors, is we got started engaging in that conversation and learning the functions of the colon. That if the colon's sick, I call the colon the house, or I call colon mama. If mama's not happy, guess what? Nobody's going to be happy. Well, guess what? Your colon is the same way. If you're having digestive upsets and your stool's not moving out in a healthy a regular basis, all those toxins are going to be floating through your system and it affects every single part of your body. I was reading, and I've got to find this again. I was watching this video, and it was a talk on the colon and how it impacts the rest of your body and your health. And what they were saying is that your colon is now being considered your first brain instead of your second brain. And the reason is because you have over 200 million neurons in your colon. Every part of your colon communicate with other parts of your body. So guess what? If you have an area that's in stress and things aren't moving so well, it's going to affect how you think. It's going to affect how you feel. I was on a summit with some neurologists, and part of the talk that I would bring to the table is about the brain-gut connection. And if the gut's imbalanced and there's disturbances, it's going to affect, number one, how you feel, your energy level, your body aches and pains, skin condition, all kinds of things. So having a healthy colon and having your stool moving, those toxins moving out on a regular basis, I just can't tell you, is so, so, so important. And when I was younger, in my early 20s, I worked in a nursing home. And the biggest issue our patients had were, I know this probably sounds gross, but where their colons were coming out. Why would that happen? Well, one, they were on a lot of medications. Two, they weren't moving around very much, but their diets, the refined and processed foods, was clogging them up also. And so what happened, because they were straining so much, that's just what would happen. And so I don't know, somewhere in the back of my brain, I probably said, okay, we've got to save everybody's colons because because you just don't want to have your life be that way. If you can do anything and everything you can to keep your body healthy, why wouldn't you do it? Especially if it's easy. So I don't know. That's just words from me at the moment. I love the brain gut connection when your gut's out of balance. And I think, gut health is a really big buzzword right now. The microbiome and having that imbalance, that is an area we specialize with here at Alder Healing Center. So there's so much more I can share with you guys. And, part is, me as an intuitive and house blessings and cleansings and the spiritual healing work from that address soul wounds so people can have a healthier life full of vitality. And the other thing I think that is amazing is when one of the things I have found when clients come in for colonics, there has almost always been an emotional component that got them to where they're at. So the bridging between the energy work and the colon hydrotherapy has really been a great marriage. And I think the next time I come on live just myself. We'll talk a little bit more about that energy work. And before we part ways today, there's a couple of things I did want to introduce to you. My next guest, which will come January 23rd, is my next filming. So a few days, probably about the 25th, the next recording will be out. And we're going to talk about, my guest will be Lori Moretti. She has a business in Addison where she sets people up with the interviews for doctors for medical marijuana, and has a dispensary also. And so the topic of conversation will be about cannabis and different options and varieties and what does what for what. And it'll be a really cool topic. So I'd love to have you come join us and watch the video actually on YouTube or Facebook. So my YouTube channel is Alder Healing, and Alder, ALDER space healing. And you'll see more videos up there soon. And then we now are carrying CBD. It's one of the highest quality CBDs that's in the market right now. And so give us a call at Alder Healing Center, 630-328-3928. Give us a call, and let's see what we have in stock. And or we have a store that you can order from. We are here to help you on your journey. There's 8 other therapists that work from here. So everything from chiropractics, craniosacral therapy, massage, lymphatic drainage, house blessings and cleansing, and a whole lot more. So be sure and check out our website at www.alderhealingcenter.com. And I am going to end in a meditation tonight. I think it's only going to be about 5-10 minutes. And we're going to start off doing some breath work, and then we'll include some affirmations in that. So I'm going to cue up the music here in just a minute, and we'll get started. So I'd like you to get yourself comfortable in a seated position, or you can be laying down. So I'll give you a minute to just do that. And I want you to listen to your breath. And when you breathe, you want to bring that breath all the way down to your belly. So I want you to notice, where's your breath coming from? Is it coming from your chest or your belly? So take a breath in and breathe it out. So if your breath is not getting down to your belly, put your hands there so you can actually breathe into your hands. When you get your breath down to your belly or your navel, you're no longer breathing from your chest, so your body actually can then begin to relax. So take a slow, deep, gentle breath in. So breath in and let it go. And let's do that 3 more times. Breath in. And let it go. Just notice your body. Notice any tense areas. And we're going to check up from your feet. Breath in. So as you take your next inhalation in, I just want you to take a moment and get a sense of your body. Where are you noticing the stress from the moment or the day? Where are you noticing tension? And so I'm just going to start at your feet or below your feet. If you're feeling any tension in your feet, squeeze your feet and let it go. Take a nice gentle breath in and get present to what do your feet have to say to you today. Are they tired? Are they energized? Exhausted from a long day of running and going? Thank your feet for all the work it's done for you. I'm going to move up to your legs. You notice any tension in your legs, just squeeze them and let them go. Taking a nice gentle breath in. And we're going to move up to the torso. We're going to go inside your organs, any organs that feel stressed out today. Just tighten your tummy, your chest. And take a deep breath and let it go. Check your arms and your head. Any stress in your neck and your back, just tighten it and let it go. Now I just want you to listen to your breath. Take a slow, deep breath in. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Through the rest of our time, I want you to listen to my words as if they're words floating on clouds or gently, softly breezing through the air as you listen to your own breath, as you listen to the calming of your own heart. Wherever I am safe and secure. I am stable, grounded, and relaxed in this very moment. All of my safety needs will always be met. I have a healthy body, a healthy mind, and an abundant life. I am anchored to this earth and supported by the universe. The universe will always support me and show me where to go next. I trust, and I trust easily. I trust discerningly. I deserve and receive support whenever I need it. The universe will always provide for me. I feel my root chakra opening and I feel myself stabilizing. I am secure and happy in my home and in my body. I am powerful. I am love and I am peace. Take a deep breath in. And if you're listening to this before you go to sleep, sweet dreams. And if you're listening to this and you're navigating about your day, have an amazingly powerful day today. It's been a pleasure to be with you, and we look forward to seeing you under the alder tree real soon. For services, classes, and workshops, please check out our website, check out our Facebook page, and we're here to help you and walk with you on your journey through life, through health, and what's important to you. Have a great day. This is Shellie Carter under the alder tree.